Hi everybody. Okay, this is one of the dreams I had mentioned in my previous videos that I felt that God was wanting me to put out there. I received this dream on July 7th, 2014, and the dream was kind of like I was there with a reporter. It was a woman, and she was reporting to the news what was happening, kind of like as you watch the news and it switches scenes. It was like that. So I was just there sort of witnessing this, but she was talking about the flood that had come, and it looked like a raging river, just 7, 10 feet high, but it was actually a street. And she was explaining that all of the carnage and damage that had happened from the flood. And I had seen, it looked like there were cars that were submerged underneath the water. And she was talking about just the deluge that had come. And then it switched scenes, and we saw cars that were just wrapped up in roots and on their side and upside down and standing straight up. And it was just car after car after car. It was just absolutely horrific. And then I see an aerial map, and I hear her talk about Reading, Pennsylvania, which is right here. And then she talks about New York. And not necessarily the city, it could have been. I just heard New York. And then I heard the word done, and I could see it. I could see it was spelled capital D-U-N-N. And I couldn't figure out anything around New York or Pennsylvania that had that name. And so I did a search, and it came up with Dunn, North Carolina, which is right here above Fayetteville. And then she took us to another scene, and I was just heartbroken when I saw this. I couldn't really find a picture to go with it, but it was a scene, and they were medical doctors, and they had on white coats, and they were all dressed the same, and they looked young like this, like maybe they were in medical school, or maybe they were in their internships, but they were young. And I heard her report that 50 young doctors had lost their lives in the flood, and I could see them all along the bank of where the flood had been. And it brought me back to the memory of a dream I'd had, and I've shared with you guys before, where I saw the East Coast, and I saw Jesus's face over this part of the United States, and he looked this way and said, "Storm." And as you guys can see, you've got North Carolina right through here and Reading, and I don't know what caused the flood, but I knew from the report it had been huge. So it could have been something that was along this whole coastline. I don't know. And that's all that I got. And I don't know what it means. I don't know what significance it has, except for the fact that I do believe that a flood is coming. I've had that dream several times, and it always seems to be on this part of the United States. So I'm just being obedient, and I'm putting it out there. It's not a fear thing. It's just God always warns us before he does something. And I would just implore you to, if you're not saved, if you're not a born-again Christian, to just pray and ask God, if you're real, show me. And he will, I promise you. We are trying so hard to get the message out, many of us who are spiritually awake to what's going on in the world, to reach out to the lost and to bring you in. God does not want us to be a part of the judgment that's coming. And I just pray that you would receive this in love and know it's given in love, not in fear. And I'm being obedient, and I'm putting it out there for everybody. So I don't like these messages, but I know that he's warned us in his word what's coming, and I'm ready. I've got my house in order. I'm telling everybody I know and love, and I need to get this out to the rest of you guys. So thank you so much for listening, and God bless.